I had a couple of videos planned for Halloween that didn't go off. I ordered some stuff, took a while for it to get in, didn't quite make it. One of them was a glowing potion. I ordered a bunch of these cool little bottles. They've got caps and corks, and gonna fill it with some liquid, sparkly, make them glow. It'll be neat. Let me show you how I do it. I ordered a bunch of these bottles. They have actual corks. It's kind of neat. I have these LED little key fobs. I picked up some battery holders. I have some highlighters. And then there's a glow glitter stuff that I picked up at the box store. All in all, should be an interesting project. So these things, they're just an LED shoved into a housing with a lead on either end, right? There is no constant on for them, but you squeeze them, connects the leads. Just a couple of quick Phillips screws. I'll have links to most of this stuff in the doobly, by the way. Certain things like the highlighters and the glitter and the water, I'm not gonna, but luckily for mine, it's just four little Phillips screws. I've never done this, by the way. This is just an experiment that I want to try, that I think will turn out pretty neat. That's it, it's just a lead and a battery. But I just grabbed these from American Science and Surplus. Should work perfect. Problem is going to be turning them off. I'm sure I can get them to work. We'll figure something out. I'm going to need a length of wire. I'll be right back. I originally wanted latching ones that turned on and off. I ordered a few of them and they still haven't arrived yet. But, you know, we will make do with what we have. So the first thing we're going to do is drill a hole all the way through this that I can feed. Just grab some of my lightsaber wire. They can feed just a little bit of this through. So now the right thing to do is to drill 2 holes instead of 1, so I can feed this through properly. I am undersizing the hole I'm drilling for the LED to go into, because I want a good compression. I want it to seal. I do not want a bunch of water in my project. And I want it to be relatively hidden. That feels about perfect. So now that I have the single hole drilled in, I'm going to drill 2 holes on either side all the way through. As soon as I figure out which side is positive and which side is negative. The side with the marker is black, is negative. I should seal this with a little bit of hot glue. Look at that. 2 separate chambers, so my LED won't short itself out. That's neat. I should also be soldering this. I've got heat shrink if I wanted to solder it and heat shrink it and do everything the right way. But we'll try doing it the wrong way first, and then if it doesn't work, and then I edit this part out and nobody knows. I'm not going to edit it out even if it doesn't work, let's be honest. I'm just folding it over so the wire's got something to grab onto. I really should heat shrink it. All joking aside, at this point this is just proof of concept. So this part here is the hard part, right? Once we're done with this, the rest is all gravy. Let's see if we can feed everything back in first. If I can't, then the heat shrink will add as a mechanical binder. And make sure these two don't contact. This is the hardest part of the whole project, by the way. You know, we're going to split the whole wire. I'm not even worried about it anymore. Pull the whole thing out. Cut this in half. I was not planning on a well, I was planning on it, but I wasn't gonna actually heat shrink it. I think I'm gonna. So you have to bear with me while I yet again get up to grab a tool that I didn't think I need, but that I need. So I have to go grab my heat gun. A lot of people use lighters for this. I don't know why. It just bugs the heck out of me. I have a heat gun. I'm not going to use a lighter. Now we let it cool off. I may have to just put a big hole and then just glue it in place. Because I can keep fighting with it for days. Or I could just make a hole. Almost. Let's see where we're at. Still glows. Believe it or not, that's the hard part. After fussing with it for a little bit, I got to just pop out which is where I want. I'm probably going to end up pulling out a little bit more, putting some glue in, putting it back in. We'll get to that. I'm happy with that. Next step's the weird part. Distilled water. This is an experiment, by the way. Never done this before. In theory, it should work perfect. We all know how that works. Here's the part that makes it a trick, by the way. Using a highlighter. We're going to go with a green highlighter. You know, I was called out recently for not wearing safety glasses when I was using an angle grinder. Please. He was absolutely right. I should have been using safety glasses. I should be wearing them now. If I cut my hand, it'll be unfortunate. If I do anything to my eyes, it's permanent. So I'm just dripping it everywhere, but you know, trying to get it all into this bottle. It's an interesting thing about highlighters. The fluorescent ink they use really fluoresces under blacklight, like extremely. So even the smallest bit of blacklight makes this, or UV light, makes these glow just like you wouldn't believe. I saw it at a Halloween display once and it was amazing. I mean, even now, that looks pretty cool. We're going to try and kick it up just a little bit more and then see what we're going to get. So this is designed to go in paint and glitter, and I thought having a little bit to refract the light will go a long way to making these things look how I want them to. I also have a sandwich bag, or a snack bag, I suppose, because glitter will get everywhere if you let it. I don't know how well the glitter and the water are going to react to each other. I guess we'll just cork it up and find out. I'm hoping the glitter dissolves, but it does not look like it will. That is super unfortunate. I didn't want it to dissolve, but I kind of like that. Let's see what we get. I don't know if my LED is bright enough. And then the silver is still sitting on top. I'm going to switch corks real quick and then just give this a real good shaking. As I believe the stuff on top is what's causing the diffraction to work weird. Because I like most of it. Most of it looks perfect. I got this clump on top. See that? I think I just may have added too much. That's stopping the LED from shining as brightly as I'd like. I think I may have just added too much. So we will ginger carefully pour off just a little bit. So I'm trying to make sure that the powder that's floating on top does not get in. We'll add a little more water, dilute it, see if it helps. Because a little bit of this highlighter goes a really long way. I think that may be the effect I'm going for. Yeah, I am a little worried that this LED is not bright enough. And these are just stupid little goofy trinkets. They're not actually designed, well, for anything that we're doing. This kind of fluoresce, but not as bright as I was hoping. So rather than do two LEDs, I added two batteries. That's much better. It doesn't sparkle like I'd liked, but it still fluoresces really well. Not 100% what I want to do about this. I've filled it halfway. Here it is at half. And at half, the whole thing glows fantastic. I think that's the key. The light's coming out of the LED and it's diffusing. And if it hits the water too close, you get a little beam. Diffused, it kind of makes the entire thing glow. But I want to heat up my heat shrink and kind of shape it so it's a little easier to use. The battery holders I have the tabs on the end, so it'll be much easier to deal with just all around if I flatten these out. I'm not sure how I'm going to mask them. I'm probably going to use a little bit of EVA foam. I'm going to put the battery in so I can verify polarity. Then I'm going to go grab my hot glue gun. So I think that's about where we are on this project. I'm going to do a little bit of soldering real quick. Most of these tabs tend to have little holes that you can feed the wire through and twist everything up. This one doesn't, so I'm going to have to solder them on. Not the end of the world, so you have to bear with me while I do a little bit of quick soldering. My soldering gun wasn't plugged all the way in. If my soldering station is dead, that would be severely unfortunate. Oh, shoot. Plan B. Plan B is to wrap the wire around it and hot glue it in place. Hot glue is not a replacement for solder at all. The only reason I'm hot gluing it right now is because I do not want to wait for a soldering station to show up. Were this any form of actual electrical part, I would 100% not use glue for this. Glue does not create a good mechanical bond, and as a matter of fact, it'll probably get in the way more than anything else. So I have to make sure my initial contact point between the wire and this post is really good. Because like I said, the glue is just going to act as an insulator against it. I've also glued it in place, so we'll let it dry for a minute and see what we get. Hopefully the light turns on. And it does. Good. I wanted to cap the whole thing up in foam, just because I think it would look the best. So I want to measure the circumference of a thing without a tape measure. Just gonna take a piece of paper, wrap it around, and mark it. So my circumference needs to be about that size. And bead all the way around. And all this is doing is covering up the wiring. I just wanted to finish it off a little bit, you know? If I really cared, I'd do another layer around it of thinner foam to cover up any other seams, but in the end it doesn't matter. Just put that on as a cap. We are good to go. We have a glowing potion. Here, let's see what it looks like in the real light. That's pretty neat. So in the end, it's a quick and easy glow-in-the-dark bottle. We can do all kinds of stuff with it, right? This one, that was cute. So I wrapped it in leather, made it look like it was wearing a coat. The nice thing about using highlighters is they fluoresce really well under black light or under UV light. They just glow. Outside, you hold the things and they look like they're glowing. It's a simple little trick, and it really adds an interesting level to a costume. I did a bunch of them. I have orange, green. The yellow and the green, by the way, if you do them, look almost identical. So if you have a pack, try to avoid something with the yellow and the green. I'd rather have a blue, but I suppose Windex would probably work in a pinch. You can do all kinds of things with this. We have a glitter in this one, which not overtly noticeable, but I think bigger flakes would make it shine a little better. UV resins or glow-in-the-dark powders, all kinds of stuff. So brings us to the end. If this is your thing, you like doing weird little quick easy projects, super inexpensive. I probably have a list in the doobly. I might not. I don't know yet. It's running kind of late. We'll see. But if this is your kind of thing, feel free to like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment. If not, I'll see you next time.